gonna start it now.
Oops, we'll start again.
Lewis, come back.
Yeah,
Rewind.
Uh,
All right, so that takes us right into
Flooring issues.
flooring
Okay.
issues.
I don't know if the camera will do us. Here again, we had someone come speak to our meeting, our group last time.
Yes.
The gentleman who owns Georgia Carpeting, I think it is.
Yeah.
But I think he's more than just a store owner. He seemed to be involved with testing and things of that nature.
Who's that? Randy.
That was
the owner.
Don.
Doug,
Doug.
Doug,
Colin, you're right.
but,
And he submitted us a project. This is, here again,
yeah, you gotta go up there.
and what it is primarily, it's a piece of flooring
With,
with a full backing. And in his opinion, the best thing on the market right now for underlayment.
the sound guard.
It's a sound guard. And
Plus he just puts a moisture barrier under that, so you have the moisture barrier, the sound guard, and then there's also a backing on the tile itself. He seems to think that that will,
well,
work.
to quote him, he said that it would have the same noise resistance that carpeting and the best underlayment carpeting could have. So he says. He said they were
That's
both
against-
yeah,
not
right,
scratch.
right. That's what they call drop noises, footfalls. But scratching of dog nails and what have you would still migrate, no matter on any type of surface, especially
And
this.
kids playing and whatever would still
Right,
migrate
right.
easily.
But his contention was that we could never reach a 70 STC ever that we have in our documents, because the STC ratings, or that sound deadening rating, is all measured at 6-inch concrete floors. And it turned out we were under the impression we had 4-inch concrete floors. We don't. We have 2-inch concrete and 2 inches of steel or metal.
What did you do to Marie's?
Marie's, we made her take everything up and put carpet.
Did
No.
the wood come up, or did you
No.
put carpet over the wood?
Oh, no,
Carp-
everything was torn out.
Oh, it was torn out.
Oh, yeah, I was there.
Okay. I thought we had agreed in the
Yeah.
meeting to glue
No,
a
it had to
padding
come
down,
out.
and
No,
All right,
That
good.
was a mistake from the beginning,
I'm
what
glad.
that was done.
Because as far as noise level goes,
Yeah, you live under it.
I'm under.
Yes, yeah.
I hear him.
You hear him.
Now, bad? No,
Mhm.
but are you going to eliminate all noises?
No.
I don't think you're ever gonna do
No,
that.
no, they're
Toilets
telling us.
flushing?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
hear it,
Yeah,
Well,
rattling
you know,
of the sliders.
well,
Oh, yeah, that's-
big
yeah,
time,
That's right.
Yeah.
yes.
We lived at 559, I guess it's upstairs. And the kitchen had tile in it, and every time I drag a chair across that.
It was heard.
Brady's downstairs could hear
Huh?
that, so
Yeah.
we got rid of the chairs.
So were you there when Marie had her dogs?
Yeah.
And you could hear every click of the?
No,
No?
the only time I heard the dogs was when they barked.
Oh, okay. Because I was there when Jerry owned the place,
Mm.
and you could hear every nail click of the dogs as they were walking across.
Never
the
heard
floor.
Marie. Now there's a difference in size
Oh,
between Marie and.
yeah, yeah. Marie was about 72 pounds.
Hey,
Yeah.
soaking wet, yes.
Yeah.
No,
So,
Hmm.
so anyway, we're, like, talk about the rock and the hard place, right?
Yeah,
Rock and the hard place is we have a set of documents that it can't be adhered with. That's number one. Number two, over the years, there was a period of time that people were basically doing what they wanted to, or given approval to do what they want
And
to.
they're still doing.
And we don't know how many flooring systems are out there with maybe just cork, right?
Hmm.
We have, when I say we, the building committee, under the leadership, the able leadership of Stephen Mabule, has refused to allow this type of, any type of hard surface flooring,
Period.
even though the documents say you can with a certain STC rating, because of the noise migration and because of the concern for the people below. But it's out there, and we have many owners that want it on a regular basis. We have 4 people that are, or 4 units that are interested in it right now. And we're in a position, well, let me step back. The Georgia carpeting gentleman is so confident that this would be the best thing we could use. He said he would donate 1 room.
Oh, I was
Of
just gonna say,
flooring.
would he do that?
And so 2 things we have to decide and recommend, or that'll be up to the board. Number 1, is who gets the flooring? Okay. And the thought has been, well, while we were talking about it, one of the owners who was on the phone said, hey, put my name there.
Well, Jim Munson has volunteered. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, Jim Munson's volunteered. And now Mr. Frangangeli, who's pushing this whole thing, if you will, for the want of a better term, said, well, I'm the one that started it. Well, maybe I should get the pre-floor. And in conversation with Sue, our president, and Steve, our building chair, we kind of thought that Tina Gillen in the 800s should be awarded the floor, because she's the last one who submitted the way they're supposed to, didn't try to sneak anything in, gave us the proposal, and we turned her down. And she's not happy she was turned down, because she feels the documents do have that right to do it, but she said, okay. And so we kind of thought that she should get the floor, because she didn't try to sneak something in. She went through the whole process. We said no,
She
and
said, okay.
she said okay, and she didn't do it. So
Did
that's
she
going to
do
be a
something?
board decision. I guess who gets it?
Did she do something else?
Not yet. I think, Tina, are you on?
I am.
I see. Did I paraphrase anything right or wrong?
No, you're correct.
Did you put a different floor down?
I did not. I have not done anything with the floors.
Okay.
So let's say this is agreed upon and that goes down, she gets it, and there's absolutely no complaints downstairs. They feel there's a difference. Then does this then become the standard?
I would.
It
And in
could,
which
yeah.
case, right, excuse me, I had that question too. We've dealt with Georgia Carpet, they've been good. But this particular floor with the cork backing, is that only available through them, or? is that-
No,
I'm sure you can get them all. with it.
And this is not cork. This is
It's
higher
rubber,
tech.
yeah.
Yeah, it's got a,
But there is.
actually,
cork
it's
out
the
there.
flooring, and there's a material in between,
And then
and
there's the
and
underlayment.
the
That's what ours
underlayment,
has.
and
Downstairs now.
this is supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread,
And then I think there's a vapor barrier. that
and
goes
the vapor
underneath.
barrier underneath that.
Is that superior?
Could you put that, use that in French toast?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
probably
yeah,
equivalent. I
It
would
looks a little
say.
moldy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Mine- If that's a comparable to cork, I'm telling you that my neighbor downstairs in that unit could hear everything.
Yeah, well,
So-
cork is the last thing anything used now.
Yeah.
But, and it's just to show you the difference, this is what other people have proposed versus this.
Green is better than blue?
Oh,
Oh, the
the
thickness, pass it
thickness,
around.
pass these two
That's just
stuff,
paper.
feel the
Yes.
difference.
The blue is just nothing but a piece of paper.
Michigan State, University
Yeah.
of Michigan, much more.
Luke,
Go
I
State.
think, excuse me, I think it's important to remember this is Sue. My picture's not coming through again, is that one of these units will be like an experiment. Once it's put in there, we will see if in fact this does work based on the opinion from the downstairs. Does it muffle the noise? So it's strictly an experiment to see. We're not saying that because we do one and it's free, that becomes part of the documents. We're
No.
saying it's a beginning of an experiment to see if it works.
Correct.
Well, I would have a question. What if it doesn't work and who pays for turning it up and replacing it?
It's a free unit, remember? It's one room they're gonna do for free. We're gonna use
Well-
that as an experiment.
Yeah, but you've got 3 other people who are waiting to go under construction right now. But when Dick's asked a question concurrently, then I'll come back to you. Dick said if we put it in and it doesn't, and it's still noise migration, who pays to take it out? Well, my feeling is if the association agreed to go it in and there's a problem, it shouldn't be the owner's responsibility.
Right, exactly.
But
Right.
it should be maybe a caveat, hey, you're asking for it, we're approving it. I mean, I don't know, it gets sticky.
It's a
All right, but if
floor, it's
Georgia
not that hard
Carpet
to
is
take
saying
out.
to you, all right, this is gonna work, this is gonna take care of your
But
noise.
he's saying it's never gonna take care of all noise.
No, but
No.
it's gonna help damper,
Yeah,
and it doesn't work, then should they not be the ones taking it out?
oh, yeah, well, especially if they put a free one in.
Yeah.
But the question is, cart before the horse, horse before the cart.
Then what does the owner do?
If, so we give up that, we agree to put a free one in. You got 3 others that are saying, I want that system, I want it now, and you can't stop me.
Hmm.
If we if we let the 2 other people come in, why would he give us a free floor? I mean, it's really catch-22 all the way around. I mean, if he's gonna sell 4 floors,
Right,
why does he
Why
give
would
us
he give
one?
us
Because he
one?
said you got it anyway. So,
Right.
I mean, we have to be so careful how we approach this.
I would think if it doesn't work.
Okay. We're
With my house, I put it in and it didn't work, and I put in a new floor. I would have removing the old floor part of the deal to put in the my new floor.
Hmm.
Just like when I put in new carpet, they wheel it, roll up the old stuff and haul it away.
Miss West in 559 is informing me that she's gonna put this material in 2 weeks,
This same stuff,
this same stuff.
That's where I live. That's an upstairs.
whether or not you approve it.
Well, she's basically saying, how
There's
can we,
no
how can
reason-
we can't not approve it. That's the problem.
Oh.
It can't get to 70 STC, but nothing can. I mean, I suppose we could
so
say
you're
no.
putting in 2 more inches
We
of
could-
Sales
concrete.
guys are all saying it can't. But they're basing that on a 6-inch slab, which we don't have. But they're all saying it, we can give you 114. But they're basing that on the way it was tested, and it was tested on a 6-inch slab.
The board was unwilling to make this an unequivocal thing by saying absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So I think we should almost go with the free for the 2 people, the person that's been pushing this and the person that was last denied. And then let them each pay half price for the living room portion, because the living rooms are the same size. I mean, I don't want to see one person get a freebie and somebody else that was pushing it that was recently denied not.
Kitchen.
What?
I thought this was for what.
No, this is for
Kitchen is
living room and
allowed.
dining
Kitchen
room.
is allowed.
Kitchen, bathrooms and lanais are allowed,
Yeah.
but this is for
Living room.
living room,
and
dining
bedrooms.
room and bedroom.
Why don't they just say no? It's always been no.
It's.
It's not.
They won't do that.
That's what I'm saying. The documents are not no.
Well,
The
We were
documents are
trying-
wrong.
We were trying to make the
Well-
documents unequivocal by saying no.
Yeah,
in all
technically they are.
cases.
You're right.
And now the board has asked, has made it stay equivocal, so it's,
Okay.
we're gonna have proposals going forward every month. But
And bottom line is you're gonna have people doing it regardless,
I think that's.
without asking permission, because that's the way they've gotten in.
Well,
this
we've
shop.
made 2 of them take out.
Okay.
269 put tile down. We made him take it out. 119 put it in and we made him take it out.
Was that because the under people reported
Well,
that there was
no,
an
because they
increased
did it
noise?
without approval. Now, there are unit owners here that can show you from 213 and 214, when it was Katie by the door, that's been approved. Same stuff, because there was no prohibition.
Well, not nearly the
Yeah, and
sound
that's
rating
what
that we
when,
have now.
and back when Bob McDivitt was president, we finally codified a statement of what this meant.
So I get, what's the question? What's the bottom line question here?
I think that it's twofold. Do we want to do the test? And since the test will take a period of time, do we want to allow the other 3 people or the other 2 people to put it in concurrently with the test?
I think what those other people should be told is if they do put it in and we do the test and the test doesn't work, then they're gonna end up having to take it out.
I think so too.
Yeah,
So we would emphasize to them, hey, give it a little bit more time. You got time to wait. Let's do the test and then see.
Well, Frank Frangella says he probably can't do his until May. Miss West wants to do hers next week.
How old is she? Can she wait?
Oh.
She might, we have a wait longer than some of us.
This
You know,
committee
could I
report-
add something, John? I like to add something for the committee, just to think, even though I'm not on the committee, but I just want you to think about this. Is if, let's say we went into the meeting and let's just consider this, and the board decides at this meeting that they want to change this and nobody can put these in, they have to go back to the way that we want it to be, that there's nothing going in there. So the thing you have to remember is even if they do that and it goes to the community for a vote in March, by the time it gets to the attorney and it gets back in our documents, when will you say it would be effective, John?
Well, yeah, conservatively, if the owners voted
December.
to prohibit hard surface flooring upstairs in March 14th, it'd take about 25 days to register the amendment with the circuit court. So it's a good 30 to 50 days maybe before it could be effective, before it could be in effect.
Okay, so what I want you to remember is that if we take it to the board, and we do have the time that we could put it on the agenda and take it to the residents in March. The problem is it would be on, I'd just say 60 days, March, April, May, before it would be back in the documents. So anybody who wants to do that flooring between now and that date, you really don't have much that you can do to them because they're following the documents. You're hoping that you're dealing with somebody who, like Steve, has been able to work with them, which you got to give them a lot of credit for, and just say, for the benefit of the whole, maybe you could hold off and not do this. That's the only thing you have going for you.
Except
Yes.
that right now, the documents read that this is allowed with board approval, correct? So
That's
with
true.
board approval, it's allowed, otherwise it is not. So it is
That's true.
still not allowed.
Good point. Okay.
I didn't think that was the way it read. I didn't think the board had to approve it.
No, it doesn't. No, well, the board has to approve theoretically. I see what you mean. I've gone full latitude here, Chris. I think that the fact that it's in there, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. It's in there. It kind of tacitly means it has board approval.
That's right. It already means it does not say, doesn't say it. So you don't have to take it back to the board.
Now, there are some documents that say this can be done with board approval. That doesn't, you're right, Steve, Chris.
But this one doesn't.
No,
So that's my concern, that, and I only want you to say, these are your 2 scenarios that you need to think about. If you do nothing, you can still have owners do it up until April, and that you really just got to depend on Steve. And he has done a great job of convincing people not to do it for the benefit of everybody. The other way is, if you decide to use this experimental procedure, you probably would not be able to take it back to the board until a year from March. And by then you would know that this is okay. And then it would go to them and you would be fine. So you're kind of stuck. I understand that it's a tough decision, but if at least this way you're giving them an opportunity to test it. I know we're leaning on Steve to be very convincing people to hold off, but he's been good at being able to do that. So that's really what the decision is. in my opinion.
It's a good point.
Good point.
So say you do the experiment. You continue, the group continues to
Movie
say,
magic.
no, please wait. We got this going on. If people do something in the meantime, I hear her saying that there's not much you can do about it because of the way it's written right now. See how it goes and then bring it back to the board in March.
However, we don't have to grandfather anything in. If they put it in, they're putting it in at their own risk. Because when they go to sell it, if the rule's saying you can't do it, the new.
But they
people
put it
coming
in at a time when there was no rule against it.
Yeah, but you don't have to
Right.
grandfather again. When it trains, it's still, when they transfer that property in the future, if the new rules say you can't have it, then they're not gonna be able to sell it until they change it.
Except as an owner, now I'm not
Can't do that.
upstairs, so it doesn't, but as an owner, if I'm upstairs and I put it in when it was okay,
Yeah.
but then the rules change later on, I'm gonna come back at the board and say, you can't do that to
Okay,
me.
but I won't be here then.
I know, no, you said you're gonna be around another 40 years. That's what you said. I heard you.
You know, you're right. You really can't do anything if they're following the rules and they do it. The bulk of big responsibility, I'm sorry, Steve, is in your hands, but you've done a marvelous job. But
She is really buttering you up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Just really putting it on.
She has spread it this way, that way, and
I mean, he really has. If you don't know, I mean, I've seen what he's done to get people not to do this. And maybe the rest of you haven't, but Steve, you could pipe in here. You know some of the stories that you've had to do to kind of make things not go on. So
you've got him beat red. Don't worry about it.
He said as TMI.
He brings his
Did you hear the
baseball bat
rumor
with
that I
him.
was gonna resign?
Read your memoirs.
He brings his baseball bat with him.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, it is a tough situation and, you know, but that's why we're here as leaders of the community and committee members to make these decisions. you
And I
know?
like the idea of going back to the individual who did it the right way and said, okay,
yeah, Tina.
and allowing her the freebie as
Yeah.
the experiment. I think this has been beaten enough that the rest of them,
Praise-
you don't have
Praise
any
for the positive.
control over, and let it be there and then see what happens with the noise level.
Well, I've explained it to Frank that, you know, he may be pushing it, but he should be satisfied with just pushing it and getting it
Yeah,
versus getting the freebie.
yeah.
So, you know, that, I guess it has to, you could recommend as a committee to the board who to give it to.
Yeah. I
And
would
then
recommend-
tomorrow they could talk about that.
I'd recommend that we give it to Tina.
And I would agree with you.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion, yeah.
So this is just for the living room.
Yeah, oh yeah, living room, I don't know what he's
Well,
gonna give.
whatever room.
I don't know what he's gonna
I
give.
bet it'll
Maybe
be
it's
the
a bedroom,
smaller,
maybe it's a.
Really, definitely.
It's gonna be the
Bedroom's
small
gotta
one
be out.
too.
Yeah, traffic.
I mean, that's just-
Yeah. Push them for the living room because that's where the most traffic is.
Yeah. All right,
So do you make the motion?
I made a
Steve?
motion.
I'll second
I'll
that.
second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
I'm opposed, but
You're
that's,
opposed?
well,
That's
if
fine.
you are, I have to list it that way.
I'm opposed.
Okay. Okay,
I'm okay.
Okay.
so, all right,
You got any?
we're gonna, the committee is recommending to the board that we do this experimental process using Ms. Gillen's unit,
Agreed.
okay?
We get the votes of the people who are on,
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
Just,
Might be hand scratching, but I got it.
okay.
just as a point of question,
Now, did
The fa-
you voted for it?
I did,
Yeah.
but I'm just thinking, just because you asked me too quickly.
Hmm.
This test that they are relying this floor on was based on something we don't even have,
Which is?
6-inch slab.
Oh,
No,
oh,
no,
oh,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that, well, yeah, that's,
It's based
Oh,
on
yeah.
what our current
yeah,
situation.
yeah, this is based on our current situation.
How long is
But
this?
we
last?
probably haven't had.
What he's saying
anything
is
put
these,
down with
these
all three
two
of these
things
members.
will match any carpet and anything.
Over here.
Nothing is gonna exceed, the carpet with anything will not exceed what this does, whatever that is.
Except for the scratch.
But
Now that
didn't
we've
you say
passed
that
it.
it was a 6-inch slab that it was tested at?
No, well, they're all tested on 6-inch slabs,
Okay.
carpeting and everything else.
The point is, this isn't going to be matching the 70, whatever.
Need
We'll
a-
we'll never know. He said it'll
Nothing
end
to
up
do with-
about 58. He said it'll end up about 58.
That means nothing to anybody on the board or to
No.
anybody here
Right.
beyond a certain number. And
And the interesting thing is, we thought, well, could you put this down and measure? And he said that the measuring is so expensive. you would-
35,000 or whatever you said.
$35,000 to do it, because they have to put mini cameras into each layer. Or many sound devices, microphones into each
Well,
layer.
That's why I think, it's hard to do that, but sometimes you just have to rely on human input. So even though we don't know what would give us the 70 STC or the 59, we're basically relying on input from the people downstairs, human input.
That's Alexa measure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
If I might add one thing, and that is that I think that the gentleman from Georgia Carpet did some additional explanation of what the number might be. And I think at that last meeting, you contacted John Mercer, and there is something else to take into consideration, and that is there's a 2-inch cement slab, there's a 2-inch metal, but there's also 10 inches of dead air
right.
above the ceilings. Between the ceiling and the floor upstairs, there's an insulating layer of air. And I think he took that into account in what the sound deadening properties might be. And I think that's something that's important.
you're right, Chris, that's a good add. But
In the testing, they also had to have an air gap, because every building being built has that same 8 to 10 inch gap, before you have a ceiling, because you got the trusses in there. So that was probably taken into consideration when they did the original test on the 6-inch slab.
I don't know if you can say that, Steve.
Yeah.
Do we know how long this test is gonna last?
Right,
How long are we
How
gonna?
long-
24 hours. you know.
Well, I tell you,
We
you got
don't-
plenty
we
of
don't even know if
timeline
any-
until,
Tina, do people below you, are they there?
Yeah, yes, they are.
Yeah, can they hear well?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay,
Time to
well, I
take the
mean,
batteries
that would
out
be
of the
part of the
hearing aids.
test,
We're gonna have a dance.
Oh,
party
and
there.
the whole thing is, everything is predicated too upon seriously concern for your neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, and nobody wants to put in something that is just gonna ruin somebody's life below them,
You'd like to think that.
yeah.
well, you'd like to think that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some out there that really could care less.
Well, I know of one. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
So, okay, that's what we've done. Okay,
All right.
all right. Next issue we have is the EV connection update. I have a little bit for the group.
Okay, yes. Did you get hold of it?
Steve has asked me to contact the electrician to see if in fact we could hook up to the outside. He said, to use his terms, drop a couple of lugs, whatever that means, to below the outside connection to feed the power to the charging station outside. He brought the county in and the county said he would not approve it.
Nice.
So the electrician said, I thought of something else, and this I don't understand yet. We'll have to get back to him. He said, I think there's a way I can modify the current in-wall system if the manufacturer will let me do it. He's in the process of getting in touch with the manufacturer of that main breaker outside to see if it can be modified in such a way to allow the same thing. He said, if not, it's going to be almost prohibitively expensive to run through that all the way into the house to bring stuff out. So there we are. We don't have an answer, but we know that the easiest way to get power to a station out front has been, this county said they won't approve it.
Great.
Okay.
All right, so we need to wait for
Yeah.
him to come back with the secretary.
Yes, but he's in process of working on it. for us.
Okay, all right, very
Okay.
good. All right, well, that's. Okay, well, that's about that. Let's see, I did get an email from. Who was it?
Jenny, Penny, any,
Somebody.
About the carports, and it's my recollection that we sort of put that to bed because we could not get any estimate
quotes, right?
quotes on parts because
Materials.
they weren't available.
Trusses is what it was,
Trusses,
and
yeah.
it still is,
And it still is.
still the case.
So
We tabled until
we tabled that.
2023.
Yeah, that's tabled until later this year. Maybe we get some pricing and we'll deal with it next year, I guess.
I have 363, I believe, is vacant. They painted the outside. It's nice paint. It's probably the same color, but it's high gloss. And I don't.
When did they paint it? Well, it must have just done it, huh?
I just noticed it yesterday.
What is it? What
And I
number?
don't-
Paint
That's
the
the
outside.
abandoned unit.
But they didn't ask if what color we were using. I bet they just
363?
Yeah,
guessed.
yeah, that's, you got them downstairs units being foreclosed by the bank.
Oh, yeah.
The husband and wife passed away. All right, we'll check that one. Thank you.
Who's doing that?
Well, there must be,
Probably the bank.
maybe the bank took it over. We don't know yet.
Okay, well,
They
If that's the
painted the-
case, we'll be getting some money.
The stucco on the outside of the building?
Yeah. It's similar color, but it's high gloss and it doesn't look like our paint.
Or it's,
Wow.
Oh my
it's,
goodness.
our paint
Wow.
is 9 years old and it could be
Oh,
the
sure.
same
I
paint.
said,
Yeah.
Pointed.
Yeah. Well, we'll check into that on our tour, right?
yes,
All right.
this afternoon. If you're,
Yeah.
okay, next thing would be committee comments. Everybody at the table? Nothing? Anybody on the phone or on the Zoom? Owners' comments?
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome,
Yeah,
Tina.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that-
I'll
I'm sure
second
that
it.
was-
Oh, that
Tina.
was Tina.
That was
Tina.
Tina. All right, next meeting. Yeah, let's
We've
get
been doing,
calendar.
what we've been doing, the third Thursdays or there's a vote here in the committee to have it on Wednesday morning.
Really?
All
right.
Wait a minute.
All right,
No,
yeah,
that's
see?
out. That's
Yeah.
out. Yeah, you
It's
got,
Wednesday morning.
can't do
No.
Yeah,
that.
he plays golf.
Golf.
No.
Yeah, we could do it Thursday, or we can do whatever day
I
works
just need
best.
to know so I can schedule my doctor's appointment.
I don't know, my calendar. There we go. Today's the 7th, we're at the, we did that so we get ahead of yesterday's.
But we could do it, the next time there'll be meetings here, we could do, if they like that, we could do it 14th again, if you like Mondays.
Was Monday good?
That would be before the board in
Mhm.
case of anything.
Yeah, okay, very good. We'll do
Doesn't
it
seem to be a-
14th of
All right,
March.
10 a.m.
14th, not the 7th.
Oh, no, that's the one time we can't do it. That's the annual meeting day.
Ooh, that's the end of the meeting. Forget that.
Yeah.
No wonder I got a little dot there.
You can go to 321.
All right, we got 21st.
Yeah, we'll go back, because we won't have a board meeting that month, because it'll be the board meeting will be
The annual meeting.
the annual meeting will be the 14th.
That'll work, that'll work.
March.
Yeah, so 321, 10 a.m. be a Monday again.
Works for me.
Incidentally, for those who are here in interest, and I know you all are, there will be no elections this year. We had 8 positions open on the board and 8 submissions. So there's no elections. Let's see, Roger, no, Cookie Finch will be again representing Pinehurst. Pam Flanagan will be again representing the Sherwood. Steve is going to be representing Springdale. Dick Bacola will be the director at large.
Tiffany Conklin.
George Fisher will be at Palm Tree. Tammy Alburn will be at Lakeside. Tiffany Conklin will be one of our new members representing Woodland. And Veronica Donaldson will be representing Oak. So we're going to sorely miss our president who's retiring. And that's truthful. And that's what it is. Any questions?
Thank you.
I thought Denny Palmer was on the.
Oh, Denny Palmer's on. He's not running. Don't forget
He
there's,
doesn't have to run this year.
It's,
it's every
15,
other
there are
year.
only 8
Yeah,
runners.
yeah, it's every other year. Yeah. So, yeah, it goes without saying that everybody else that I didn't mention is on the board for their second
So
year.
hopefully we can get Sue Downs back on the budget committee.
Yeah, I've talked to John and said I would be more than happy to do that.
Oh, wonderful,
Very good.
wonderful, wonderful.
Where's the board meeting gonna
Sue
be?
Downs.
Board meeting's gonna be at church
Okay,
and it'll be 1 o'clock.
so here, recommendation for adjournment.
You made it.
I already
I
made it.
second.
Oh,
it.
you made it?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you all. Any
Hey,
questions?
Chris,
I'm way behind.
Before
Yeah,
you leave,
I
can
want to know how many home runs Steve hit.
Oh, I had a batting average of 670.
Whoa,
Oh, pretty
Hey.
serious.
Wow.
Chris, can I call you after this to figure out what's going on with my camera, maybe?
sure.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thanks, Chris.
Good. Have a good day, everyone.
Chris, are you
Take care.
available for Thursday? I think we're gonna have a landscape meeting.
This Thursday, not next
Yeah.
Thursday?
Yeah, this Thursday.
Yeah, I should be okay. Oh, no, actually, I'll tell you what I can do, John.
We can move it
I
either way.
can,
doesn't matter.
no, I can start it.
Oh,
I
okay.
just may not be around to turn it off, but I can have you do that.
Yeah, I could do that for sure. Okay, so,
Okay.
all right, thank you. That's good.
I'm gonna call you, Chris.